Morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsy69. Welcome back to the channel. Sorry I haven't actually recorded too much lately. As you have known, that I have been having the COVID, of course, as some of you may have already seen. And obviously COVID is shit. I have been feeling like crap. I've just wanted to sleep, achy muscles, etc, etc. So I've just been sleeping and doing nothing. So there was this battle that most of you would probably have seen. I know Pantooth and maybe a few others have posted this battle, and it is the T100, and it's driven by Kawaii. I think that's his name. I'm sorry if I've pronounced it wrong, but you probably have seen that this is the one of the highest damage games ever. There's been a few that I've posted around this kind of damage, but we're going to talk about the battle itself and how decision making. So we're going to use the battle to try and teach you some things and about decision making in general. So of course he's gone to the middle here, as you would on most tanks. You would come to the middle here to try and get the spot in, especially if you are in a light tank. Now if you look at the minimap, we're just going to quickly pause it because there is a couple of, only at the minute there's only three heavies, or sorry, there's only three red tanks that's been spotted. I think there's been more, but they've been unspotted, and two are to the left here, and there is the light tank to the right. Now the enemy have three light tanks in total, so there's the T100 there. Now if you look at the minimap for the green team, there's three tanks to the left, there's two still roughly in spawn, and there's one to the right, and then now there's our guy here in the middle. So he's got a decision to make. He's got a big decision to make. Does he go and help ease the heavies, or does he go over and help the light tank? Which is better? And this is where decision making is absolutely key, because it can change the outcome of the game. Now you could see him a minute ago, he was looking left, he was looking right, and now the light tanks have been spotted on the right side. He has pushed towards the right side. Now this is actually a very bold move and dangerous move, considering his object is very, very low hit points, but he's gone to help out these guys. Considering these two are basically on their own, it's now three tanks against two. Not quite sure where the other light tank is, but it is three tanks on two, and that's where the difference is. That's the difference of this game. Now there goes the Conway. So obviously the left side are not really holding too well. They are being pushed, but now there's three tanks on these two. The T100 is going to get taken out. He's now on a one shot. The back chat is on a reload, and of course he is going to go for the T100 and then start chasing this back chat. So it's now a 6 versus 6, but of course the back chat is now on a reload, I guess, and he is a one shot, so our guy can now take him out. And now here is the Object 84. God knows where he has been. God knows why he wasn't there helping. But of course, the T30 is also there to protect and help his team as well. So they've just taken care of all the light tanks like really, really easily. Of course, the Object 84 has died, but now it's a 5 versus 4. There goes the Object 84, and now it's a 4 versus 4. So he's now again got a decision to make. Now the Conqueror is up here, there's two tanks to the right and the K91 there to the left. Now he does get lucky with this game because of that K91, but he's decided to push this Conqueror because he's isolated up here on his own. These two guys are nowhere near this guy at the moment. Of course, here comes the E3. Now the Conqueror should be dropping down, which he has done correctly so, and rightly so. And now he's going to try and go for that guy, but now the E3 has pushed up, he's now on his own. So pushing the E3 here, trying to keep him tracked, is definitely the best option. He's already on 6k damage, but what he's doing now is he's trying to keep this E3 up here because the other guys are nowhere near, or they're all down there. So yes, he can be shot from these guys, but for them to have decent shots, they're going to have to come up here. And he's going for the track shots. He's always trying to go for that track shot. You can see it hasn't really worked out for him going for the tracks, but he does bait a shot and he does get the miss there to clear that E3. And now he could basically do exactly the same to the E5, because the E5 is again now isolated. He's on his own, and with the DPM that this tank has got, you can really bully tanks. And of course, here comes the Conqueror, but he's going to completely ignore the Conqueror for now and go for the most dangerous target, because the Conqueror isn't the best of players, as you can see. So now 8.7k damage, or 9k damage, and just 2 tanks left alive. Now the Conqueror is shooting Hesh, and finally he does pay off. It does pay off with shooting Hesh, but we got this guy now down to a one-shot. So he's going to clear this guy now, and it just now leaves 1 tank, which is the K91. So already 9.7k damage, and it's a good ace. Even the Object 84, even the enemy knows. But where is this K91? We haven't seen him since he was in the middle. Now, with still 2.5 minutes left on the clock, he still has some hit points, but with the K91, if the K91 was available and was around, then he could actually clear him with all 3 shells. But he does get lucky, and the enemy do start telling him where the K91 is, because he is AFK. So even without the AFK, I don't know if this would have changed the outcome of the game. But it's that decision making, and that's why I wanted to show this and talk about this, even sort of after a week of having this replay. I just haven't had time to record it at the moment, until now, really. So it's the decision making, and you guys can do this. You can, of course, you're all not going to do the same damage that this guy does, but you can all do it. You can all look at the minimap. The minimap, I've always said it, the minimap is your best friend. Use it. It's there for a reason, so use that minimap. Look around, and if you're especially in a tank like a light tank, look around, look at the minimap, look where your team is, look where the enemy team is, and then as a light tank, you can then use that minimap to see where you want to push. And that is what that's what really a light tank is for. The light tank's for spotting. Go and spot the team for your team, and then once they're spotted, then you can make a decision as to where you want to go. Do you want to push with the heavies, or do you want to push with the mediums and the other light tanks? And for this game, especially with Kawaii, he pushed the light tanks, and that then isolated. If he wouldn't have pushed the light tanks when he did, the other 2 tanks on his team, the E50 and the Object 84, would have been isolated, and they would have just been ripped apart from the T100 and the Batchat. But because the T100 was then made his way over there, it was then 3 against 2, and there was really nothing that they could do, especially whilst the Batchat was on a reload. So put this into action. Use the minimap. Always use the minimap, because it is your friend. And we always say, don't push. If you spotted a tank to the right, say, and you think he's on his own, so many players do it, including myself. You start pushing them because you think that they are on their own. But as soon as you start pushing them, the other tanks get unspotted. The other tanks get spotted, and then you've made them a commitment. Then it's too late. You've made your push, and it's too late, and you get ripped apart. So use the minimap. If you use the minimap, it is your best friend. It will help you, and maybe you'll start to perform better. Probably maybe not as much as damage as this guy does, 10.8k, but you'll get there. You'll get there. You'll deal some more damage, and you'll get some more wins. So I hope you enjoyed it, guys. I'm meadsy69, and I will catch you all soon. Bye bye.